In Anoka Hennepin schools, we stay above the line. As high school students, we've got a lot of school spirit.
And when we compete in athletics, that spirit goes through the roof.
Our pride runs deep. And sometimes competitions can get messy. But our friends and competitors all deserve a safe environment.
That's why this season and every season, we're committed to competing with class.
It's not okay to taunt, trash, or throw shade at our opponents.
We don't play that way. As players and as fans, this is the way we play the game.
We build up our teams.
We respect officials.
And we give props to the other team, even if they beat us. We are not alone. Our high school coaches, administrators, and staff are committed to confronting and eliminating bad behaviors.
Because insensitive, offensive, and hateful behavior
has no place in our high school or in our activities.
Everyone has a role to play.
So whether we're at home or away, join our school communities
as we show everyone this is the way we play the game.
Anoka Hennepin fans, whether you cheer for the Huskies, Cardinals, Bengals, Rebels, or Tornadoes, let's stay above the line.
Hey, a pleasant good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen, from the Anoka Fieldhouse, where tonight Northwest Suburban Conference girls basketball action will take place on QCTV between the 7-3 Blaine Bengals and the 9-3 Anoka Tornadoes. Hello, everybody. I'm Tim Anderson, joined alongside Ryan Nelson Kane. And Ryan, we're into the middle of January. Conference basketball, every game's important from here on out. Two physical teams that need a win.
Absolutely, and we've got kind of a bounce-back opportunity here for Anoka. Obviously, they've got the better record tonight with a couple of wins, but a chance for them to reset and come back and win a game here. Got to play some good, physical, technical basketball, get down low, complete the passes, maintain possession of the ball, and obviously you want to get the ball in the basket. So that's what we're going to be looking for tonight.
Should be an interesting one, especially for Anoka, as you mentioned, having some adversity coming off of 2 losses in a row. As a coach, when you try to hit that reset button, I know that's what Nick Novak talked about today. And how do you do that? How does that reset button kind of get hit?
Absolutely. If you want to hit a reset button when you're in a bit of a skid as a team, you go back to basics. You play the game clean. You play the game technical. You make sure that you do the little things correct, and the score will take care of itself.
Blaine's looking for a big one tonight. Obviously, every win's important as we move our way down to the end of this regular season, which is only really a month away, if you can believe that. So we got the Bengals and the Tornadoes. Starting lineups in the opening tap are coming up next on QCTV.
Back to the fence, and that's gone. There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught. 20-10. Touchdown. This is going to be in the gap. Oh, yes! Goal! Go to the deflection. Yes! The Huskies win their first state championship.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Anoka High School. Tim Anderson, Ryan Nelson Kane here with you. As you can see, they don't let us on camera very often, Ryan. I got a face that was meant for radio and not television, but here we are, getting set to play some basketball here tonight at the Anoka Fieldhouse. Just getting set. Lineups are just a few minutes away. Also, the national anthem just a few minutes away as well. As we mentioned, into the month of January, we had a lot of cancellations there for a couple weeks. So these two teams, Anoka's played 2 more games, but there's some makeups to be had here as well over the next couple weeks. There's a lot of basketball that is going to be played on the calendars of both teams here coming up.
Absolutely. You got to make up those games that the snow kind of took from you there. Obviously, the teams may be in a different place, so you kind of got to mentally, you've got to get yourself ready for these games that you thought would be done by now. You kind of get the opportunity to come back and play them again, maybe in a different or better place for your team.
Take a look at some standings and some rankings here as we get set to roll. There you look at Sammy Mukanji taking some shots as Maple Grove is 6-0 in the Northwest Suburban Conference. Centennial is 5-1. Rogers also 5-1. Champlin Park 4-2. Very competitive up at the top of this conference. Anoka 4-2. Blaine 4-2. 2. Andover's very good. They just beat Anoka. They're 3-3, but that's a good 3-3. Elk River, same thing. It is just loaded here at the top of this conference. The first 2/3, there's not an easy W anywhere to be had in those first 7 or 8, 9 teams.
Absolutely not. And you know, traditionally a pretty good conference for girls basketball around here. You know, at least when I was around a few years ago, you know, Centennial was in the state finals a couple of times. It's a conference that is always competitive, and it's good to see that it's still that way. So excited to see what this game's going to be tonight, Tim.
Take a look at also the rankings here as well. This is as of January 2nd, so these got to be updated here too. They're on the verge of being updated. Hopkins is, of course, number 1 at the top of the charts right now. They're 8-0. St. Michael, Albertville, 9-0. Chaska there as well, 8-1. Wayzata, some of the usual suspects. And then, of course, you go down the line, Rosemont again, Becker, Eden Prairie, East Ridge. It's a very eclectic mix, but it's a lot of very good basketball teams there at the top 10. And yet you feel like both of these teams could compete with a good chunk of them.
Yeah, physical basketball is always going to be something that you can compete with. It's you know, the finesse teams, obviously the finesse teams for a reason, but you're going to be able to compete with them if you play physically.
Time for the national anthem, everybody, and we'll tune it down to the folks down on the court. I know senior Ashley Wongby is singing the national anthem tonight. We'll take it from there. The very talented Ashley Wongby delivering the national anthem, and I think she's trying to make a run at Whitney Houston's Super Bowl version of the national anthem there. Very nice.
Can't blame her. Sounded great.
Why not? Fantastic, as always. Very good stuff there from her, and now we'll get the starting lineups onto the floor here, and we'll have them as well for you probably on the screen as we get set. These two teams, I think, match up well. Obviously, Anoka, we take a look at the starters for Nick Novak, Lauren Youngquist, and Sammy Mukanji. They're the seniors at guard and forward, but then it's a very young team on top of that. Maddie Frecking, a sophomore. Evan Apenga is a junior. Lydia Lackinen, a junior. Pretty young squad there for that starting 5.
Certainly some staying power here for Anoka. If they can put something together this year, they're going to be able to build on this over the next couple of years.
Yeah, they've been looking at that, and they've been kind of circling this year. No question about that. On the other side, for the Blaine Bengals, coached by Chris Brewstuen, it's Sophia Teeden, Danielle Davis, Madison Bryant, Molly Garber, and Sadie Dominic. So a 3-guard lineup, 2 in the post for the Blaine Bengals tonight. So we are just about set to take the tap here tonight. We want to thank you for tuning in on a cold January night on QCTV, wherever you are, watching at home, watching here, streaming on your phone, hanging out at a friend's house, hanging out in the coffee shop, taking advantage of the free Wi-Fi, whatever it is you're doing. We appreciate you making time for us here tonight.
And feel free to share that link too.
Why not?
Absolutely.
Maybe leave a comment and talk about Ryan's hair.
That's right. Well, let's not do that.
Let's not do that. Oh, the big light show here for the Anoka girls team. They do a nice job.
Just felt my heart rate pick up a little bit.
You sure you're okay?
I'll be all right.
Let's make sure. It's obviously it's one thing we can say about Nick Novak and what he's done here in just the short amount of time. He's only been the coach here a couple of years, but he's brought in a culture of fun and excitement and energy, and doing a lot of fun new things as far as starting lineup intros, just trying to get things going and really pump up an attitude around here. It's been fun.
Absolutely. I mean, this is, you and I have talked for years about how this is one of the more unique mascot names in all of sports, and in high school sports especially, that you don't see a whole lot of tornadoes around here. Lean into it. I think this is great. This is awesome.
So the lineup's being introduced here. We're just about ready to play basketball.
Excited for a good physical game here.
What?
So
yeah.
we're excited for a good physical game.
I'm sorry,
Tim.
the tornado siren was very loud. I mean, what I just, what can you do with all of this? I mean, it's...
Well, you can't say you weren't warned.
Oh, my goodness. Here we go. It's going to be a fun night of basketball here on QCTV. Glad you could be with us. Again, crowd is a little bit down tonight as it normally is here, but we have the guys are playing at Blaine tonight, so there's a crowd over there. There's a crowd for hockey. We got a lot of stuff going on in the area.
Vaunted North Metro sports here in the middle of January, Tim.
It's very busy. It's very, very busy indeed. So
where would you rather be than right here, right now?
100%. You get that out of the Bill Walsh book, too?
Yeah, you'll get a couple of those quotes tonight.
Will I get a couple of those?
You'll get a couple of them tonight.
When are you going to share me the link to that book? When am I going to get your Audible account?
Oh, I'll send you the password tonight.
Can I get the pass? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. See, I start sharing things around here. All right, let's play some basketball. Enough of this nonsense here up in the top of the up here at the announce table. Getting ready to jump it up is Lauren Youngquist, the senior, played soccer, was a soccer captain, also one of the real leaders of this basketball team, and has been here for a long time playing ball. We'll jump it up here with Sophia Teeden. Blaine and Anoka, the long rivalry continues. Tap up, one, controlled by the Tornadoes, and it's Mushangi who's going to bring it into the front court for Anoka. Being picked up right there by Bryant. Apenga swings it off Youngquist. Youngquist puts it on the floor, tries to go baseline. Nice feed by Frecking, and she cuts inside for the easy basket.
That's an excellent play to start the game here. Get it off right here. No miscues to start the game for the Tornadoes.
And getting Frecking involved early. She had foul trouble against Elk River and didn't become the factor that they need her to be. But when Anoka's rolling, it's because Maddie Frecking's getting some things done for them, and that's for sure.
And that's what we talk about, getting back to basics, too. When you get back to basics, your players are playing, right? Your horses are running.
Nice inside there by Danielle Davis as she's able to put it right back on the post.
Probably expect to see that a couple times.
I would expect so. Mushangi, full head of steam, quickly back the other way. Feeds Frecking up between the circles. Frecking gives Lydia Lackinen on the floor. Lackinen bumped, able to kick it out. Mushangi wide open three ball. That's off the mark, and it's going to be rebounded right there by Sadie Dominic.
I don't hate the decision there to take that shot. She had a little bit of space. Good idea to take that shot. It just got to fall next time.
I like that open look for sure, indeed. Nice drive inside. Can't finish. Rebound Lackinen. You'll hear that a few times tonight. Try to go the other way. Great pass, but a great deflection by Sadie Dominic, as Lackinen didn't see Dominic, I don't think, right there. And now Sadie will control play from up top. Take the screen.
A little greedy there for Anoka, maybe on that pass.
No, the bank's open for Sadie Dominic, as that's off the window and good. 4-2 for the Blaine Bengals early on. Apenga, not shy. Certainly not. Drives it all the way to the rack and scores.
Oh, a beautiful little shot there.
You wonder if they were thinking she'd shoot the three, because that's what she likes to do. Decided to put it on the floor. Dominic.
Sometimes your reputation can precede you, and that's okay.
Maybe so right there. Dominic has it guarded by Apenga. This is a good matchup for Blaine, I think. Inside feed, Davis. Davis and Lackinen. Oh, she's traveling.
Yeah, one small mistake by Anoka on the pass, a small mistake by Blaine down low. That's 1 for 1 there. If we see that kind of thing, it's going to be a close game.
There's a lot of matchups that Lydia Lackinen's going to be favored in, but that's going to be a tough one with Davis tonight. There's a size disadvantage there, and Danielle knows how to post up on the inside.
Yeah, she's got some size. Anoka's probably got the size advantage overall here, but certainly down low, it's been Davis for sure.
Nice kick by Lackinen for three, and Mushangi knocks it down from the outside. and it's 7-4 in favor of the Tornadoes, and that's a great pass there from Lydia Lackinen.
And a great shot by Mushangi. I mean, that's exactly what she tried to do the first time. That same kind of distance between her and the defender, same look, just took it that time and sank it. That's exactly what you want.
And that's what the Bigs try to do for Anoka, draw that defense in so they can kick back outside and get those open threes. Up top now, an opportunity for Molly Garber. Dribbles with the left hand on Youngquist, and Youngquist is going to be caught for a hold there. And once again, a player who does not believe a foul was ever committed or called on him. Can't believe it.
Surprising.
Take a look at Youngquist here, and that is a good call. Total hold right there. Is inbound here for Dominic. Up top, Garber.
Blaine seems to favor that kind of pop inbound pass.
Davis will drive. Oh, she walked. Oh, no, they get body first. Body first, but I don't think that's going to be a shooting foul, Ryan. I think we'll keep that on the floor. We'll see. Yep, it looks like they will. So they get with a foul that time.
Well, you know, and if you're Anoka, you kind of want to take that foul a little bit. You don't want to give up the inside to a player like Davis, because she'll eat that up all night long.
No question. They want Davis to catch it right there. Three-point line. Back outside, Garber, who's got it between the rings, looking on Youngquist. Youngquist tries to stay with it. Garber with a spin move off the window and got it.
Shot. That was a great shot. Just took the opportunity. She had the one-on-one. Everybody else was covered. Didn't try to force a pass. Just took it herself and put the onus on herself.
Yeah, nice little ISO ball for sure for Blaine on that time. Mushangi now will catch it. Feed Apenga. Apenga over the top. Lydia Lackinen on the inside. Puts it away. Count it. One coming. And a beautiful pass from up top from Evan Apenga.
That was a great pass, but the recovery and the shot might have been better. Lackinen did a great job there of taking that ball in, making sure she had it, and then taking a shot, not trying to rush it or go too fast on that.
Yeah, you see that a lot, especially amongst high school basketball players. They catch it on the inside, and if they're not catching it exactly in rhythm, they'll force it. And that time it didn't happen. Great play there from Lydia.
Absolutely. It's a sign of experience. Makes the end 10-6 Anoka. I mean, it's just a great start for the Tornadoes here so far.
Yeah, Tornadoes been very efficient offensively. Blaine has done a nice job as well. Garber driving, using the left hand, and that's pretty as well on the other side.
That was
from Molly Garber.
That was well defended, and she still made that shot. That was impressive.
Mushangi takes a high screen from Lackinen, goes with the left hand, tries to answer. That time couldn't quite put it off the window, but steals it right back for the Tornadoes and immediately tries to reset, waits for numbers. Smart move by Sammy.
Good work to slow that down and just pull it back. And
Youngquist. Youngquist had it on the inside there, Ryan, but she was rejected on the freshly checked in Marina Lafreniere.
It looks like they're going to give her a couple of free throws here for that. Looks like she got hit on the wrist there on that shot.
So Marina Lafreniere onto the floor for the first time tonight and picks up the foul. It's a great basketball name. Going to challenge the announcer early with that. I like that.
You know, if you don't challenge you, Tim, I don't know.
You got to keep it fresh and interesting. I completely agree. Youngquist gets 1 out of 2. And this is a good sign, Ryan, right? All 5 starters on the board early for the Tornadoes.
Yep, and like we said before, your dog's got to be running a little bit here. You want to make sure that your best players are the ones that are scoring for you, and that means your starters got to be playing well. And so far, we've seen that for Anoka.
Lafreniere not going to be shy off the bench, misses that one, and a rebound by Youngquist. Immediately looks for the outlet. Apenga doesn't have the numbers, but is going to challenge Dominic, and that one's rushed up. Frecking gets the offensive rebound, but can't put it away. Great defense by Sadie Dominic, and quickly hustling it back to Molly Garber the other way. Garber, that beautiful spin move, catches Lafreniere at the elbow, misses it short, rebound by Youngquist on the inside. Youngquist already grabbing a few boards on the defensive glass. Lackinen quickly finds Mushangi to bring it back to the front court for the Tornadoes.
This is a good move by Anoka. Slow it down here. That last rush you had, you got a good chance, but you fumbled it a little bit. You rushed the shot. Slow it down here. Make your passes. Get a basket.
There's Lydia on the inside. A beautiful catch as she was able to clear some space and use the offhand. Lydia's up to 5 points early on. 13-8. Tornadoes lead. 13:20 to go in this opening half, and a great start from both teams.
Yeah, Mushangi to Lackinen connection working early here for Anoka. The up high, down low combo of the two. I think that's going to be a threat of the night here.
Beautiful feed inside, but rejected as Lackinen gets inside, and Apenga's able to get the steal. It looked like it was going to be an easy layup for Sophia Teden, but that one was rejected by Lackinen. Now Youngquist for 3, can't knock it down, and a rebound from Sadie Dominic.
A good decision, but not a great shot. I'd like to see some better execution on that shot, but I don't mind taking it.
Good block by Lackinen.
Oh, wow.
Lackinen's got an outlet to Apenga. Down to the other end, an easy layup for Evan.
Lackinen is in her bag right now. She's playing some hard basketball. That's some good ball.
Got some rejection already, a couple blocks, couple assists, few rebounds, and some points. Lydia doing it all early on.
And another big play right there where she's the defender and the ball manages to find its way back into Anoka's hands. It's all Anoka right now.
Lydia puts it on the floor, wants it the whole way, off the window and scores!
Goodness gracious.
Lydia Lackinen is on fire early on for the Tornadoes, and it's 17-8.
Wow, that's some impressive basketball from Lydia Lackinen so far.
Teeden hustles a three, maybe forces it for the Bengals. Now Frecking wants to get in on the act. Will take it all the way and score.
Anoka can't miss, Tim.
Yeah, no doubt. Timeout taken from Coach Chris Brewster. They need to talk it over on the Blaine side, and a nice run for the Tornadoes, a 9-0 run. And they're up 19-8, and you're right, they're getting what they want on the inside, and they're not missing because they're getting clean looks.
And this is what we talked about before the game, is you play good technical basketball, you slow it down, you limit your mistakes, you play physically, and good things are going to happen because you're scoring off of good defense here.
Take a look at how this last one came about. Lackinen makes the play on the defensive side, but quickly feeds it out, and here's Frecking to finish it, as you see.
Da-na-na, da-na-na. That was a great shot.
So Frecking has 4 points, Lackinen has 7, Apenga has 4, Mushangi 3, and now they're going to the bench, bringing in some, maybe going, I don't want to say small here, but definitely changing things up as they go Laurel Kuyan onto the floor. First break for her into the game.
Lackinen still on the floor. Davis is back on the floor for Blaine. She was off for the last couple of runs.
So Katie McKay on as well for Anoka. So both teams have moved into the bench a little bit. Lafreniere goes straight up and will draw contact, and it might be on Lydia. We'll see. Maybe McKay. Let's see if it was McKay or Lackinen there on Lafreniere going straight up.
That one looked like it was Lackinen to me.
But they're going to go McKay with it looks like.
Okay.
They go McKay. I thought they were maybe looking that way. So Lafreniere comes in and makes that first free throw. They've also moved to the bench for some other folks as well. First into the game for Blaine, number 4, Anoka Schloman. And making them both.
Laurel Kuyan with the ball there, taking it in for Anoka.
Kuyan, nice feed inside. Frecking can't quite finish. Took a shot, no
Good
call.
rebound.
Rebound, Lydia goes straight up and has it. Lydia Lackinen, a force on the boards right now, both offensively and defensively.
Just cleaning up is Lydia Lackinen. Just mopping up the boards.
Well, I've been kind of waiting for her to break out and have the big scoring night. She always rebounds and gets hers, and that one might be a foul that time. Lydia, you could see that arm coming forward from Lackinen as she went up to try to block it, and I wonder if she got contact there.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing about that foul is you didn't need to do it. All you had to do was just put your hand up, and that shot probably wasn't going in, just from the angle it was coming to where she was standing.
Right.
So you just got to trust yourself a little bit and don't overcompensate, but you're playing hot, right? You got to trust yourself too.
Mara Holly onto the floor as well for Blaine as that first one goes in. Lafreniere coming in and making some free throws and disrupting things a little bit.
She's playing a good game so far.
And she's got 3 points off the bench, 21-12. Yeah, anytime you see that, and refs are going to notice that too. Anytime they see that hand going forward on a block and you make contact, they're going to get you for a foul most of the time. Cross court, Apenga, first 3 of the game. Got it!
Wow. A beautiful play from Anoka there. There's 1, 2, 3 across the arc. Just no chance for Blaine to defend that. They're trying to lock down on that top guard spot.
Lackinen kind of pulled the chair out from under Lafreniere that time. Smart move, too, by her to try to get a foul on Lydia. Oh, and Maddie goes inside and is going to draw contact.
You get 2 free throws here?
Yep. So smart by Blaine. You see that the last couple trips down the floor, Ryan, trying to see if they can get a foul on Lydia, maybe get her out for a little bit. But that time Lackinen kind of played backwards and caused the missed shot.
Yeah, playing smart when you're playing hot is always a good thing, too. I mean, you don't always have to play super aggressively.
Maddie Frecking knocks down the first. She's got 5.
Just to build on that thought, discretion, as they say, is the better part of valor.
They do say that. I've read that somewhere.
Lackinen will take a seat.
It's probably a smart move from Coach Novak. 10:39 to go.
Just give her a little breather. Nothing wrong.
So they go with Kuyana Penga, McKay, Frecking, and Youngquist on the floor for the Tornadoes. Holly, Lucy Romaker. There's
Novak.
Garber trying to drive it in, can't finish. Davis trying to secure the rebound. Now on the floor with Laurel Kuyan. That's going to be a held ball, I think. Possession arrow goes to Blaine.
Coach Novak absolutely losing his mind on that possession there. Get your hands up, get your hands up. Not bad advice from the head coach.
Coach is high energy is Coach Novak. He's done a great job here, though, so far. Inside Garber, using the offhand, can't finish. Rebound by McKay. I'll take that back. Frecking cleans up on the inside. Now Maddie's going to push the other way for Anoka. Going to try to feed, but a great stop that time by Romaker. Now Garber's going to go with a full head of steam and lay it in. Nice job by Molly Garber, who's got 6 points.
Yeah, Frecking just kind of got lost in that one, rushed it a little bit. Just needed to slow that down and find an outlet somewhere else. Don't force the aggressive pass. Just find a way to get the ball out of your own hands.
Frecking baseline drive, kicks it out. Youngquist thought about 3, said no. Back to Laurel Kuyan. Going to feed a Penga, who will shoot it from there, but doesn't. Goes to Frecking instead on the cross court, and a very patient possession here from the Anoka Tornadoes. Oh boy, I can say a lot of cross court passing. That's very dangerous, but they keep the ball. Frecking goes straight up and scores. Wow. Somehow they get a basket out of that.
Well, when it's your night, Tim, and it just feels like that bucket's about a mile wide.
They are shooting a high percentage indeed in this first half. Jumper at the elbow, no good that time as Garber tries to keep it going with the hot hand there, not able to knock that down. Now Laurel Kuyan will dribble it back in. Quick feed, Youngquist. Youngquist will go instead, Frecking for 3. And no, not quite. Almost got the members bounce, but not quite. And that's going to go out of bounds, and it'll be a turnover back to the Bengals, and that'll get Mushangi and Lackinen back in.
Quick little breather there for the top 2 players for Anoka so far.
Yeah, you maybe buy 2 minutes of court time that time to get them on the bench. 28-14. I don't even think Blaine has played all that bad, really. I think they've done a decent job. It's just been hot shooting from the Tornadoes.
Well, and Blaine taking some ill-advised shots as well. It feels like they could have maybe made one more pass where Anoka has made the pass. And I think that's been the difference so far, is Anoka's just playing a more technically clean game than Blaine so far. Even despite a couple early mistakes.
That's true. Youngquist carried the ball. Yep, no question. Good call there by the official. That ball just spun in Lauren's hand right there and just could not get that back on the hand. They don't call the carry all that often, but that one was pretty obvious. Had to call that one. So here's Annika Schloman bringing it across for the Bengals. Quick feed inside, Lafreniere, who's getting a lot of run here in this first half to try to match size. Sophia Teeden back on the floor as well. That one's intercepted by McKay as they tried to feed Teeden on the inside. Couldn't get it to her. Now back out Mushangi, who's going to bring it across the timeline. Feed Laurel Kuyan as they go with the smaller backcourt. Laurel puts it on the floor. Little jumper. Can't knock that down, and a rebound inside controlled by Romaker.
Some good awareness in that interception on the last possession for Blaine.
Good 3 look there from the outside, but can't knock it down as it's hard off the heel from Mara Holly.
It just feels like Blaine just can't find the basket right now. They've taken a couple ill-advised shots, but not all of them. And it just feels like Anoka just can't miss and Blaine just can't make it. Sometimes that's the case in basketball.
And I think that's the key to Lauren Youngquist right there. When she can catch it in rhythm like that, she's going to make some shots. And there's another make. 30-14 is the score. Yeah, maybe some quick shots, but not bad shots. They're open for the Bengals. They just haven't been knocked down. Lafreniere, who's been really good since coming into the game, tries to drive in and draw a foul. The wall of the Anoka Tornadoes met her straight up.
Yeah, it's just tough sledding down low for everybody, for Blaine right now, and they're just not able to match physically what Anoka is able to do, especially with Davis off the court right now. Anytime she's been off the court, they've not been able to get anything inside. A little surprised not to see them adjust and maybe try a little bit more of an outside game, and they have a couple of times, but just not a whole lot of hope inside.
Yeah, they call a charge right there. That is right on the semicircle, but Lydia runs over Marina Lafreniere, who has been battered in this first half. They've come in and they've just said, Marina, be really physical with Lydia Lackinen, Kenya, and it's like, well, she's done that. But she'll feel that as she's checking out of the game here for a minute. Garber back on the floor.
Yeah, and that's a tough matchup for someone who's given up a couple of pounds there. A little bit of a height advantage there for Lafreniere, but not much else by way of an inside advantage for her against
Lydia. Very
Lackanen.
strong, no question. But Lydia's got to come out with 2 fouls now. And now Lizzie Shoknek will check in. And Lizzie will come in and knock it down. Everybody's making shots.
Well, this is what we like to call a point night so far for Anoka.
No kidding. Lizzie Shoknek, the young sophomore, will come in, get a bucket, now get a rebound. She's stuck amongst the trees, and they're going to get a held ball, and that possession error will go to the Tornadoes.
Yeah, some aggressive play here from Blaine trying to get back into this. But I think if you're Blaine, you got to remember you can't get back into this with one basket. You got to put together a series of possessions here and take some of this momentum away from Anoka. But at this point, you're down 18. You got to start playing some smart basketball, but you have time. And I think that's the thing that a lot of basketball, especially young basketball players, can get out of the rhythm here and try to play hero ball. But if you just play your game and get back into this, the baskets will start to fall.
Yeah, you think to yourself, what's the number in your head? 10? Get it to 10 by halftime, you feel pretty good about yourself, right?
Yep.
You got plenty of time to do it. 6:24 to go first half.
Yep, get a couple of good defensive plays, get a couple of turnovers maybe, take advantage of some of the mistakes that Anoka's making playing aggressively, and then you got to sink your baskets, right? Obviously, that's the number one goal here. When you have a chance, you got to take advantage of it.
Penga, not a great matchup there, is going against Mara Holly. Mushangi feeds Youngquist back up top. Frecking in the corner. And this is a very patient offensive set by Anoka. They almost turned it over, but Frecking's going to try to make something out of nothing and will go to the line.
Yeah, that's those little mistakes, those things that would normally benefit a team like Blaine, just everything bouncing Anoka's way right now, and sometimes that's just the way it goes.
It's on Abby Pelkey, who just checked into the game.
Good technical check here for Anoka.
First miss there from Maddie Frecking. Maddie, though, has played well. 7 points so far in the first half. 32-14, 6 minutes to go. And I think Coach Novak will settle for a long possession like that. That was a 25-second possession, and now they get a chance to set it up and get some more. No, Frecking's just going to go ahead and chuck a 3 and make it.
Well, you know what? What's 3 points when you miss the last 2?
Yeah, if you can't make the 2 free throws, step out and make the 3-pointer. How about that? 35-14, and that's a killer for Blaine because you get the 2 missed free throws, not securing the rebound.
And again, we talked about just technical basketball, playing clean, doing the things you got to do, and Blaine just hasn't done it so far. Just not making baskets and not taking advantage of mistakes.
So Anoka doing what they want to do, trying to find another patient. Oh, nice feed. Lizzie Shoknek all by herself away from the defense. And Maddie Frecking saw it with the feed.
This has just been a clinic so far by Anoka.
And this is an Anoka team that doesn't score a ton. Like, they get up in the 60s, most of the time. But, they're on pace for a big night offensively if they can keep this up. Sadie Dominic, the runner, can't finish. And now you feel the Bengals are kind of pushing a little bit, forcing the issue. Can Teeden finish on the inside? No, can't. Frecking controls the rebound. And now Maddie kind of playing more of a point forward here for the Tornadoes as they bring it across. Youngquist tries to feed Shoknek again. This time they catch it, and Sadie Dominic knocks it out of play.
Yeah, it felt like that one was just a little greedy there. Maybe just trying to add a little bit too much, little too much stuffing on the plate there.
And that's fun for Lizzie Shoknek, who's excited to get those points. She's been sort of an effort player for this team off the bench. Again, we've talked about on previous broadcasts, that name's very familiar. Her older sister was a big-time player here for a number of years, and now it's Lizzie's getting a chance to make a play here at the varsity level, and here getting some baskets. That's big.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this team is you've talked about this, as you can take a look at Chris Brewston's huddle here, trying to find something that works. And again, this is a good Blaine team. This is not a bad basketball team at all. But right now you can feel that they've been just pressed and they've been pushed and challenged. And right now they're just trying to find an answer here.
Well, and you can see the body language too. They're just feeling a little dejected, a little beaten up. They're getting a little pushed around right now. Find a way to check it back in, right? As a coach, you got to pull it together here a little bit, and you got to remember you got 4 minutes and then a whole half of basketball left to play. It's not running time. You're not done in 4 minutes. You got plenty of time. Just play your game.
Teeden comes in, gets a foul called right there as Youngquist had a break to the basket. That's going to be her second, and that's going to put Youngquist on the line. And Got to make that first one there, not able to do so. We'll see if she can knock down this one. Here comes Davis back in. And I do think, yeah, when Davis seemed to check out early on, it felt like that really hurt the momentum because she really matched up well on the inside and could get looks on the inside.
Yeah, and you know, you thought maybe with Lafreniere's height advantage over a couple of these players, namely inside, but Davis just brings that power. She just brings the strength that Lafreniere can't bring. And I think that's what they were missing down low here. So hopefully she can bring that again. But, you know, right now, it doesn't feel like that's the difference in this game.
And Blaine's going to try to change things up by going full court pressure. And that worked right there as Holly was able to poke it away from Apenga. Can they finish? No. Can they control the rebound? No. Instead, it's Mukanji, and that one's knocked away by Blaine. But Blaine now has a chance to once again set up this pressure off the dead ball.
Yeah, and this feels like, you know, what they have to do. At this point, I mean, you're down 24 points and with 4 minutes left in the first half. Like, you've got to create some opportunities here for your team. And right now, it's again everything's just going Anoka's way.
Yeah, even that one right there, 2 bad passes and they almost got away with it. And Blaine's now got a chance to go the other way. So far, the press is doing exactly what they want to do, and that's a carry. As that one got stuck on Garber's hip and she wasn't able to get it back on the floor, and that's a carry.
Yeah, and thank Mukangi for that pressure there. Just ended up sticking that ball right there. She couldn't dribble the way that she wanted to.
So the press is working for Blaine. It's forcing some bad passes for Anoka, but it hasn't led to anything yet as we come up on 4 minutes to play in the first half. They take a screen, Youngquist. Mushangi trying to work inside. Nothing there. Up top, Apenga. Apenga guarded by Dominic.
This offense just seems to hum better when it's run by Mushangi.
Completely agree with that. Feed inside, can't finish was Frecking, and Blaine gets a rebound. Dominic for 3, a big one if they can get it. They got it. Big 3 from Sadie Dominic.
Absolutely had to have it.
And now it is a 21-point lead for Anoka, but that stops what was really a long cold streak, and then they get a steal off this press, and Mara Holly will get a layup, and that's going to immediately force a 30-second timeout by Coach Novak. Because now there's the counter. This is the chess part of basketball. Coach Brewston calls a timeout, gets a press on. Press seems to work. They get some points. Now Nick Novak calls a timeout with trying to create a little counter to that press.
Yep, and it's, you know, chess game. That's how coaches operate in games like this. So if we can just if Anoka can find a way around that press, limit your long passes, keep it short, just move the ball up the court here, you're going to have an opportunity to score because Blaine is spread out.
See, it's 2 schools of thought that I've heard on basketball, and just a thought as we kick this around a little bit. I always think you try to beat the press with some dribble and some pass, and right now it looks like Anoka wants to try to beat it with just passing, trying to thread the needles, but I feel like those long passes are sort of what Blaine's wanting.
Well, it's I think of it the same way as you would with it, kind of a trap defense in a hockey game. Right, where you have to move people out of position and use your position to pass off of that. And here that's kind of what we're seeing them do, right? Where you get a couple of dribbles and a pass, a couple of dribbles and a pass, a couple of dribbles and a pass, and that's what we're going to see from now on to beat this press.
And they do beat the press this time. They get it across the timeline. They had to work for it, but they did get it across. Now Mushangi tries to set the offense for Anoka. And again, another purpose of the press is to get the offense a little out of sync. Hasn't happened just yet. Apenga feeds to Shoknek outside Mushangi for a deep 3 ball, but she got it.
Yeah, that's an answer. That's why you call the timeout right there.
It's proven to be brilliant there from Coach Novak. Davis with a look at the elbow, able to get it. Nice job by Davis.
And again, we can talk about just the difference of this team when Davis is in the game versus when she's not. It's just been a different sort of Blaine team when she can play physically down low and just take that shot right there where they have to respect it.
And she almost picked up the dribble at half court, which is like a kiss of death. Youngquist on the inside gets a look, though, and it beats it. That's the one thing about the press. If you can get it across the timeline, you might get a layup.
Yeah, and the other thing, that the danger of the press is you run the risk of wearing your team out, and you're running it with, you know, they started this at about 3 minutes left in the half. You run the risk of wearing your team out if it doesn't work.
Garber able to get back on the other side. She's got 8. And now both teams trading, which is really not what Blaine wants to do in this press. They don't want to trade. They'd like to get a few stops, and they haven't been able to do that yet. Lizzie Shoknek will catch up top. Quick feed. Mushangi's wide open. Going to take a three, and that time she airballs it. But Frecking's going to control the offensive rebound for the Tornadoes. And Maddie's going to drive with the left hand, switch to the right, and can't finish on the inside.
Would have been pretty.
Oh, and then a steal right back by Evan Apenga. Apenga with 1:42 to play in the first half, 43-23, and now a three from Youngquist. That's off the top, and that'll be a turnover going back to Blaine. I think that's just a pinch out of Youngquist's range, in my opinion. It just felt like she had to really punch that up there to get it there.
Yeah, I'd like to see more passing there. At this point, you don't need to take the shot that quickly. You can pass it around a little bit more and look for a better shot. You have the benefit of the scoreboard here. Time is not your enemy. So you know that your opponent's trying to put together possessions, so you need to just hold the ball as much as you can at this point. You want to score and you want to put points up. You feel like you're humming, but don't let that trick you into this idea that you can be successful every time.
That's right. Youngquist with the drive now gets bumped by Davis, and that will be still not in the bonus yet. A pretty clean half from both teams, and so we'll keep that on the floor.
It does feel like the rare foul for Blaine here where they haven't given up free throws on these fouls. Where Anoka takes fouls, it does feel like it stays on the floor. Where Blaine has taken fouls, it's felt like it's been free throws all half.
That's true. Anoka has, if one thing you can say, they haven't made a lot of free throws in this first half.
Yeah, and you hope, if you're Anoka, you hope that doesn't come back to bite you a little bit.
Mushangi up top, feed inside Youngquist on Lafreniere. That's a double dribble.
If this does become a 5-6 point game and Anoka ends up down, you're going to wish that you had those free throws back when you had the opportunity.
Yeah, it's little things like that. They do matter, and basketball is a game of runs, as we know. But Blaine wasn't able to get it to 10 like we thought they needed to by the end of this half. It's 45 seconds to play. First half, 43-23. Tornadoes red hot in this first half. There's Lafreniere, who I think has played a pretty nice first half off the bench.
I didn't catch what that was.
I'm not trying to catch what that one was as well. So I think they were trying to get everybody organized. Maybe there was everybody's a little out of sorts. Veteran referee crew here tonight was going to not let things happen too much there. Basket was made, 18-point game, and a big hoop from Lafreniere. Now Youngquist gets it across, feeds Lizzie Shoknek, back to Mushangi. And they may try to hold for last shot. Mushangi between the circles, finds Frecking. Maddie will drive. Will keep driving. Can't miss it inside, though. Yeah, she gets too far underneath.
Got a little too cute on that shot, I think.
10 seconds to go. Last chance for Blaine. Lafreniere, who has not been shy, but that time nicely tied up by Youngquist. And that's going to be a held ball. Keep the possession arrow to the Bengals. But a nice defensive play by Lauren Youngquist.
Yeah, and that's with 5 seconds left in the half. That's exactly what you want. Don't give up that basket. Force them to make another play. And you pull Lafreniere off the court for a second.
Inbound feed, quick shot. They get it.
Wow.
And that's a big hoop at the bucket.
Needed it.
At the horn, Apenga will throw it up there. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
They say no basket. Oh, they said no basket. Oh, man, I thought that was close. Oh, that was close.
We don't have instant replay.
The Anoka student section wants it. They want it badly, but they say no, but that might have revved up the Tornadoes into the half. They have a 16-point lead. Boy, the fans want a replay. They wish there was one. Oh, that was so good from Evan Apenga. Oh, my goodness. Let's see if we can get a replay on this and see if we can take a look. So that's the inbound quick shot that was made by Pelkey. So
Yes.
we can watch the clock here. There's 2 seconds it's running. And, yeah, I don't think they got it off. It's late.
Sure didn't.
It's late. Yep, it's late. But it was good.
It was a solid half-second late, but what a great shot.
It's late, but that was fun. All right, that was it for the first half. Great first half for the Anoka Tornadoes. 43-27, they lead. Second half will come back in a little bit here on QCTV.
Well, my name is Holly Pounds, and I'm the Director of Organizational Development here at Choice. And at Choice, really, we envision a world in where everybody of all abilities lead happy and fulfilling lives. And the way we help get to that vision is by creating partnerships and programs that enrich people's lives.
Have fun with us!
Choice does a really great job of helping individuals with intellectual disabilities help to live engaging and fulfilling lives in every aspect of their lives through employment and education.
Come exercise with us.
Come work with us.
You know, we have all of these great services, and great services need great employees. So we really want to invite people who are enthusiastic and passionate to come work with us. During this whole pandemic time, of course, we've struggled with our staffing much like other industries, and we're really looking for people who are creative, who are passionate, and who really want to have a fun and a very rewarding work environment to come and work with us.
Thrilled to be working at A Choice because not only do we help the participants that we serve live out their dreams, but Choice does a really great job of helping the employees live up to their full potential and help them engage in things that they're interested in as well.
I'm calm. I'm creative with us.
What is dementia? Is it the same as Alzheimer's? What is vascular dementia, Lewy body, FTD, TBI, and CTE? If someone has memory loss, does that mean they have dementia? Millions of Americans ask these questions every day. I did too, and I learned. My wife Ginny developed dementia. I didn't know what to do or what was coming next. I'm Kevin Jameson, volunteer and president of the Dementia Society of America. I'm excited to offer you a free guide to understanding dementia. It's filled with facts about dementia, care planning, how doctors can help, and ways to keep your brain as healthy as possible. The Dementia Society of America is a national nonprofit, and we're ready to answer your questions. You want to live life to the fullest. I know that. Ginny did too, and I'm confident that we can help. Get your copy of the guide. Go to 1-800-DEMENTIA.org or call 1-800-DEMENTIA. Thank you.
We've received a lot of questions since the hands-free cell phone law went into effect. How does it affect our community? What can we and what can't we do while driving? The law means you can no longer hold a phone in your hand while driving. It must be mounted or placed in another area of the vehicle. We understand the challenges our community faces when communicating by phone. But remember, the law helps keep you and your loved ones safe. We know many of you rely on video chatting as a way to communicate. Video chatting, accessing the internet, and social media apps are illegal while driving under Minnesota law. Some asked if we are exempt from this law. That is not true. The law is here to protect everyone. Taking your eyes off the road, even for a moment, is extremely dangerous and can lead to a crash. Under the law, You can use your phone in hands-free mode to make calls, but we all know that is challenging. Our advice is to put the phone away altogether while driving. Out of sight, out of mind. We know there might be times that you need to make a call. We recommend that you pull off the road in a safe place and make the call while parked. Remember, if you are on the highway or interstate, it's illegal to pull to the side of the road unless it's an emergency. So go to the next available exit and find a parking lot where you can safely make your call. One thing you can still do is use your phone in GPS mode. Again, this must be done hands-free and set before you start driving. This law might be frustrating for some, and it might be a big change for you. But is making that video call behind the wheel worth your life or another person's life? This law will reduce traffic fatalities and make the road safer for all of us. You can find more information about the law at handsfreemn.org.
Impact Services, Meals on Wheels and more in Anoka County offers meals throughout all of Anoka County and Champlin. Meals on Wheels provides nutritious hot meals Monday through Friday with weekend options. Who can get Meals on Wheels? We're here for anyone who can benefit from home-delivered meals with a focus on older adults and people with disabilities. Meals on Wheels is great if you could use help cooking or need a break from doing it, you're recovering from an illness or injury, getting out to purchase food is difficult. With your tax-deductible gift to Impact Services, Meals on Wheels, every $5 donated provides a hot, nutritious meal delivered to a neighbor in need in Anoka County and Champlin. Impact Services Meals on Wheels is a volunteer-driven organization. We have meal pickup sites in Anoka, Coon Rapids, East Bethel, Lino Lakes, and Fridley. Please keep in mind that if your company offers volunteer hours, we need drivers. The commitment is as it works for your schedule. It's a great way to spend your lunch. For more information, go to www.impactservicesmn.org.
Do you remember your first bike? Do you remember the excitement and freedom it gave you? Witnessing that joy, or getting a from the heart thank you note from a recipient of one of our bikes is our reward. Bikes for Kids collects bikes donated to us from local bike shops, recycling centers, law enforcement, and individuals. We refurbish these bikes and give them away to kids and others in need who may not be able to afford one, along with a helmet and a bike lock. We do this through churches and other charitable organizations. Recipients of our bikes also include homeless people and even refugees from the war in Ukraine. In continuing our mission, not only
Second half underway here, just getting started. 43-27, the Tornadoes led in a quick travel from Mushangi. Couple of big baskets there at the end of the half for the Bengals, Ryan, which gave them some life here, down just 16 as we head into the second half.
Yeah, and that's really not exactly what you needed for Blaine, but you needed some kind of momentum going into the second half here. We had talked about getting them down to 10, but 16 is not an ideal number, but it's certainly more workable than the 23 that they were facing.
Yeah, no question about that. Miss by Dominic there, rebound by Davis, and that's another big key. Can they get some offensive boards where they were dominated on the glass in the first half by the Tornadoes? Rebound by Maddie Frecking on the miss that time. And back come the Tornadoes to start their offense here in the second half. 17-18, just underway. As we start this second half, Tornadoes have led pretty much the whole way, and they have been very efficient offensively. Mushangi for 3, that time long. Lackinen almost get called for over the back. Got to be careful there. But instead, it'll be a rebound for Sadie Dominic and the Bengals.
Yeah, not exactly. You don't want to get her into foul trouble early in the second half here when you want to maintain this lead. She got into a little bit of it at the end of the first half there. You kind of had to sit down toward the end, but definitely don't want to start the half out that way.
Rebound there is Lackinen and a misfire from Garber. And from the outside, they have really struggled out there. They have had a tough time making shots. Lydia on the floor, tries to swing it back to Youngquist, and that time rejected. But they're able to keep the basketball. Lydia will drive it all the way in, and a little finger roll off the glass. Beautiful from Lydia Lackinen.
Just great basketball.
That was fun, wasn't it? They're 11 points. 11 for Lydia, 11 for Maddie Frecking. They lead all scorers. That's rejected out of bounds. Keep it here.
She's just, again, starting out hot. Just pick it up right where she left off when she stepped off the court at the end of the first half.
Well, you had the feeling like she might go for 20 or something in that first half, the way she got off to such a hot start. But then started getting others involved with rebounds and passing. Another 3-ball that comes up short, and Apenga hustles to grab the loose ball.
Well, and that's about what you ask for from a team leader, too, where, she was hot, but the team needed to get hot. So she put the team above herself and really put everybody else in a good position to get this lead. She couldn't have done that by herself, so...
And that's one thing about her. And I would say this whole Anoka team, as they swing it around, Apenga will drive it in. Nice little jump stop and can't finish on the inside. Rebound by Dominic. But this Tornado team, very unselfish, and they're showing that here in this game tonight as everybody getting involved. Davis catches on the near side. Now Garber, catch at the elbow for Teeden. Teeden swings back out. Sadie Dominic for 3. Got it.
Good shot. That's exactly what Blaine needed to have right there. Cuts the deficit to 15. And suddenly it feels like Blaine's grabbing the momentum here.
They needed that basket. That was a big one to go get. Drive inside and a foul as Apenga is able to get there. Apenga, we checked that replay. Just missed the three-quarter three-point shot on time. But still a highlight reel. I'm sure she's pretty happy that it's on QCTV tonight. And Evan will knock down that first one. We talked about free throws in the first half. Really the only thing you can point to from Anoka as a tough spot in the first half was the free throw making, but coming out here in the second half making the first one, that's a big start.
Yeah, you absolutely had to have it. I mean, we talked about playing good, technical, clean basketball for Anoka in this game, and making free throws is kind of, the basic expectation of good, clean, technical basketball.
And getting them both for Apenga, who's had she hasn't been chucking the threes all night long, but she has a very nice first half, nice game going. 9 points tonight for Evan Apenga. Garber, who has 8 points, who led Blaine most of that first half. Now her and Dominic each have 8. Lafreniere tries to catch at the elbow, works on Lackinen and drives, rejected that time.
Grabs at a knee.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about Marina Lafreniere's knee here, and she's yelling to the sideline. She can't get up. So injury stoppage here as Marina Lafreniere is having trouble. And she was hobbling a little bit in the first half. And now she's down. Coach Bruce doing on her way out along with trainer Heidi Beckendorf.
She knew as soon as she went down
that she was hurting right there. As she was rejected, but then landed, it looked like on that knee.
Yeah,
and it's already braced, so you wonder if there's already a little something there. And we'll take a look. Don't want to speculate here, but she's been playing so hard, too, for them.
Been a difference maker. She didn't have the most points in the first half, but you definitely felt it every time she held the ball.
Oh, and she's not afraid. Like they wanted her to go after Lydia and take it to the basket, and that's what she was doing. And right there is an example of that, going right to the basket on Lackinen, got rejected, and then landed. It looks like landed kind of awkwardly.
Yeah, and in the way that she was running earlier in this game, you kind of wonder if, and the amount of minutes she was playing.
See if we can see it from this angle, if there's something we can pick up on here, Ryan. And no, it's actually, it's almost when she took off she felt that. It wasn't when she landed. She was grabbing at that thing on her way to the ground.
Yeah, non-contact, kind of explosive off the leg. That's not what you want to see. Obviously we're not going to speculate on what it is, but.
So while they check on Marina Lafreniere, and again, we hope she's okay here because, again, she's been playing really well. And
yeah.
You want to see that. Here's a broadcast schedule coming up on QCTV over the next couple of weeks. Wrestling action, a try, if you will, as Blaine, Maple Grove, and Champlain Park. Oh, Minneapolis South is joining to make it a quad, you say? It
Is
was
that
going to be
Minneapolis South's music?
It was, yeah. Is that their music I hear? Oh man, that'll be entertaining indeed. And then obviously some more basketball action coming up as Champlain Park and Andover are going to get after it. Champlain Park and Anoka coming up. That should be a great game. And then some hockey.
On that one, are we?
I think we are. Yes, we are. Then Grand Rapids and Andover for some boys hockey action. Anoka will get the ball underneath as Lafreniere to the bench. Coach Beckendorf, or Heidi Beckendorf, our athletic trainer, going to work on that. They try a little alley-oop to Frecking, and that's no Gouda as they go the other way as Dominic will pick up the loose change for the Bengals.
Yeah, if you're Anoka here, you just don't get too cute, right? Just keep playing your game. Just run that score up. You'll be all right. You hate to see them trying to do things like that this early in the half. Just feels like they're freewheeling a little bit. You know, just that's not what you can afford to do.
Sadie Dominic trying a three after she had made a couple in a row, missed that one. And now no numbers here for Maddie Frecking, but it doesn't seem to bow, man, and that's out of bounds. Stolen by Sadie Dominic, but couldn't stay inbounds. And Frecking just tried to take on the whole bench there, 1-on-4, and didn't have the numbers. But now they get a chance to reset underneath the basket. Youngquist out, McKay back in for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, you appreciate the effort there to get some quick points, but you'd like to see her slow that down a little bit and maybe let the offense set up if you don't have anything there.
Nope. Oh, we got a push off maybe underneath. Or something was called. Somebody stepped out. Oh, that's what they get right there. So a violation on that one as Apenga tries to come up and get that, but she stepped out first. Nick Novak was just looking for an okay on that one and got it. Got the answer at least, but was satisfactory to him.
Tornado's defense looks a little loose.
Yeah, there's a big three right there from Sophia Teeden.
It just feels like they're not playing quite as tight as they were to start the game. Still up 14, but...
Yeah, 47-33 the score with 14 minutes to play. They get it across. They beat the press. Spacing's not great as Apenga and Lackinen are on top of each other. Frecking will come back and get that. McKay inside Lydia. Lydia can't handle it. It's a dive on the floor. Maddie's got it, but it's going to be a timeout first from Nick Novak. Boy, that was some good stuff from Coach Nick Novak. As soon as he had possession, called the timeout.
Wow. Yeah, good coaching there. I mean, obviously he had the best look at it there to see when the possession changed. Good work by him to call that timeout.
So they keep possession as you take a look. And again, a little bit of a spacing thing there, Ryan, as it seemed like Lydia and Kate McKay were right on top of each other, and it was a little harder for McKay to get that pass over to Lydia.
Well, and it's indicative of the issue we were just talking about, where they're just kind of freewheeling a little bit. They need to get back to what they were doing, play solid, patient basketball, right? Pass the ball, look for the shot. Don't just kind of look for the pass. That's kind of what it felt like they were doing the last couple of possessions. Be patient, find your spot, find your open person, get the ball to them, and let them take the shot.
Just run your stuff too, right? Just run the stuff that you know you can do. And here we go with a little out of bounds set.
I mean, I'd get it to Mushangi, let Mushangi run the point, get it down low to Lackinen, let her run down low. Just play your game.
There's a little drive and kick. Mushangi, Lackinen back out to Mushangi. Dribbles it off her foot for a second, but gets it back. Good feed. Lydia's got it in the corner. Going to go, oh boy, that just tried to hustle, just tried to cue a pass over to Mushangi, but it was kicked away. Nice job by Blaine defensively. Blaine doing a nice job and putting some pressure on this Tornado team. Inside, what are we going to get for a call there? Nope, it's going to go the other way as it looks like an over the back on Blaine.
Mushangi's kind of a little assassin down there.
Yeah,
just sticking the hand in wherever she wants.
She's very much a pest, very much so, defensively and offensively.
You see her just kind of, she'll stick the hand in and just back off. She's never reaching in. She's just kind of just sticking her hand where she knows she can get a steal, and it always seems to come up with the ball loose.
Yeah, poking at it. That one dribbles off the foot of Apenga, and that's going to be a held ball possession arrow to Blaine. As Anoka does look a little out of sorts offensively here, and that'll get Laurel Kuyan and Lauren Youngquist back on the floor. Frecking and Mushangi will sit for a minute. Just to maybe switch things up here a bit.
Yeah, need a little bit of a spark here for Anoka. Got to grab this game back before it gets out of hand the other way.
Yeah, you don't want to give Blaine a little energy, a little life, and right now it's almost there. Garber drives hard on Lackinen, but that's going to get the foul, and that's a smart move there from Blaine. Garber putting it on the floor with the left hand, and that's hard to defend, too, the left-handed dribble. And Lackinen gets called for the foul.
Lackinen obviously, been on the floor a lot tonight, getting sucked into a physical play there. That's going to be something to watch down the stretch here as she wears down in this game, playing a lot of minutes. Is she going to spend more time on the court here? Potential for more fouls there.
Molly Garber, senior. That's another thing to keep in mind, too, is just how young, again, this Anoka team is with all the sophomores and juniors. Speaking of that, there's Laurel Kuyan right there, who's a sophomore guard. And Apenga, the junior.
There's Blaine back with the press again here.
Getting a chance to set it up off a dead ball. Apenga for three. This is what she wants. Outside, in and out. Rebound, Lackinen on the inside. She's going to go straight back up with it. Can't finish. And Blaine will grab the defensive rebound. Yeah. And they're looking to go the other way quickly. Set up, quick spot, jumper, got it.
Lackinen needs to slow that down and just find her spot. This game has been cut to 10 points, which is where we said that Blaine needed to be before the half, and this is kind of the spark point for them as Anoka makes another mistake.
Mara Holly gets that basket. Apenga had a look from a driving McKay, and McKay can't catch it as it's over her head and a turnover, and Blaine is feeling good right now, just down 10 with 12:19 to go. We got a basketball game here at Anoka once again.
Coach Novak can't believe it.
Looking for some patience now on offense. We'll see if they can get it. The Bengals want to try to get this back to single digits after they were down as much as 23. Sophia Teeden, cross court, looking for Dominic, who's going to drive on Apenga. Going to try to put it up, can't put it off the window and make it, in a rebound by Lackinen, and Lackinen's going to push. Lackinen's still going to push. She's going to push all the way if she can. Instead, now she'll go backwards. McKay feeds Youngquist, as again, the spacing was questionable, and McKay gets that one knocked away, and it's going to Blaine. And again, Coach Novak with a look saying, can we calm down, please?
Need to find something here just to ice this a little bit. And right now, Lackinen comes off the court. Maybe she just take a little bit of a break, catch your breath, because this is, in a whirlwind, you've let Blaine back into this game.
And a turnover as Dominic can't communicate with Holly right there, and that one's thrown into the bench. And I would look to, I think, Frecking right here, right? You're going to try to get her involved for Anoka. She's the one that you kind of go to for big buckets. Wouldn't be surprised if they try to set something up for her.
Well, we mentioned this at the end of the first half.
Kuyan inside gets the nice one.
Wow. We mentioned at the end of the first half that this offense hums better with Mushangi at the point, and we haven't seen much of that to start the second half. Would like to see her getting her hands on the ball a little bit more if I'm Anoka.
So Kuyan on the nice feed from Youngquist gets a big basket. Garber with the left hand. Drives on Frecking. Back up top, Romiker. Can't finish. Mushangi grabs the rebound. And now we'll see if Ryan will get his wish here as Sammy brings it across the timeline. Nobody sets a pick. It's going to be one-on-one with Garber. That's a kickball. Yep. And I think Sammy would probably want a screen there. Garber's got the nice size advantage, Ryan. That's going to be a tough one. Get a pick, though, on the upside for her. She might be able to get a look.
Yeah, you're going to want to give her an opportunity to get off of that. And drive toward the alley there. Whether she decides to pass or decides to shoot it there, you want to give Mushangi an opportunity to get back into a rhythm shooting with her ability to shoot the three.
So Mushangi again guarded by Garber. Mushangi's got to get it across the line, feeds Kuyan, now over to Youngquist. Cross court, that's dangerous, but they did get it there. McKay gonna dribble back to Kuyan, top of the key. We'll pick it up, Youngquist, cross court, Mushangi's there. Gonna put it on the floor and dribble, go baseline with it, and we'll dribble it around. Good long possession for the Tornadoes. We'll see if it gets them a shot. It's gonna be Frecking who gets it, goes inside, can't finish the finger roll. It's up for grabs and taken by Blaine as Garber will grab it. And that was a good look by Anoka, just couldn't finish. They get the steal, though, quickly the other way. Kuyan doesn't have the numbers, will pull it back. Smart move there by the young sophomore.
That's exactly what you need to do in that situation. Don't try and drive the ball. Don't get impatient. Just hold the possession. Slow this game down. Get back to what got you to that lead in the first place.
Cross-court feed, Youngquist. Youngquist back, Kuyan, who wants a three ball from the corner and got it.
Yep. There's your heating up for Anoka.
That's the big three that Laurel Kuyan needed. 5 points off the bench for the young sophomore, and none bigger than the last 5. I mean, those 5 were huge.
Yeah, and it's starting to feel like Anoka is starting to find that momentum again here.
And referee's got to talk about something here real quick. I think they want to repass that in and start again. Laurel Kuyan, 5 big points off the bench, and those 5 are huge because it has now become a 52-37 game. Lizzie Shoknek back on the floor, who gave them some good minutes in the first half as well. It's a young lineup on the floor right now for this Tornado team.
Yeah, Shoknek, who was grinding her tail off at the end of that first half, just looking for rebounds and points, been doing a great job in doing so. So you're kind of hoping that she can come back in and continue this run for Anoka.
A little bump foul by Sophia Teden. So
she looks frustrated.
Yep, you got 2 seniors on the floor with Youngquist and Mushangi, and then you have 3 sophomores in Kuyan, Shoknek, and Frecking. It's a little bit more senior laden on the other side for the Bengals. Teden, Garber, Holly, Schloman, and Romaker on the floor. Oh man, Kuyan trying to dribble through everything, but able to get rid of it quickly. And now Youngquist resets. Cross court, Mushangi traveled first. Yep, good call. Good call.
Kuyan doing a good job of protecting that ball in that spot, just getting it out. Don't try and play hero ball. Just make sure that it gets out of your hands and into the hands of somebody who can help you.
A more patient last few possessions for the Tornadoes has helped them rebuild the lead back to 15. Garber up top. Trying to work through a screen. Good feed inside. Schloman doesn't have the size inside. Frecking gonna rip that one right away.
Yeah, Frecking, the biggest player down low on the court right now, doing a great job to get that rebound and get the ball up.
9 minutes to play. Oh boy. Frecking had to leap to get that, but got it. Mushangi thought about 3. Instead, we'll put it on the floor. Feed Youngquist in the corner. Youngquist back up top, Mushangi. Oh boy, bad pass there. Miscommunication with Shoknek. And now Teden gonna try to run the floor on Frecking. Draws the bump and the contact, and we'll go to the line.
Yeah, not such a great start from Mushangi to start the second half. It feels like she's lost that edge a little bit that she had early. And this is why I was talking about you want to get her back in the rhythm a little bit, because she feels like she's out of that rhythm.
Some of that's the adjustment that Blaine made, too, by bringing Garber up on top of her. A bigger guard, a stronger guard, a taller guard, somebody who can kind of push around Sammy a little bit.
Yeah, and that's where you kind of wanted to see Kuyan come in and do what she's done and get those 5 points. And you'd like to, get her back, get her catching the ball a little bit too. Mushangi will sit down and take a break here, and we'll get Lackinen back in, and we'll see more of a bruising lineup from Anoka again. But, let's see if Anoka can continue this run here.
Teden gets 1 out of 2. She's got 4 tonight for the Bengals. Frecking, Kuyan, Lackinen, Apenga, and Shoknek on the floor. For the Tornadoes, Garber, Teden, Holly, Schloman, and Romaker on the other side for Blaine. 8 minutes. Oh, boy, that's deflected. It's going to stay with Anoka.
Hardwood monster coming up on Anoka here a little
kidding.
bit, slipping a little bit.
Well, it is a slippery floor. We've talked about this a million times here on QCTV. Timeout taken by Blaine.
Probably smart. Want to get your team back on the same page here.
100%. Hey, let's take a time in this timeout. It is, we have a birthday here at QCTV. Dan Corcoran, our wonderful cameraman, who demands that we do stand-ups even when I look the way that I do, is having his birthday today. I believe he is, what is he, 19, 20? 19 or 20 today. There you go, Dan. I don't know. Happy birthday today. I'm sure somebody will be nice enough to buy you dinner sometime here in the next day or two. Maybe put that on Taylor's tab. But happy birthday to you.
I'd say dinner's on me, but my wife controls the checkbook, Tim.
And you like to cook from home anyway. You're not a go-out kind of guy.
That's true, I do.
You're a chef now.
Well, I like to cook.
I'm like an air fryer chef. I'm learning to become I'm going to try to become one of those, like, dump it all in the crock pot and set it guys. I might become one of those guys.
You and my mom should get together.
I don't know. Do we? I don't think that's true. Do you think that's...
You guys should talk. She's got some great crock pot recipes.
A lot of crock pot recipes, I'm sure. Yes, for sure. 8:19 to go. 52-38. So the Tornadoes have kind of weathered this storm, Ryan. They've kind of gotten Blaine back to arm's length a little bit. 8:19, the time is now if you're Blaine.
Yeah, if you can keep this beyond 10 if you're Anoka, you kind of feel like you get this down within 6 minutes, you're still beyond 10, that you've got the game well in hand, and you just have to kind of play conservatively beyond there. But for here, you can't afford to get conservative yet. You've got to score here. You can't stop scoring yet.
Frecking, drive inside, dish back out, Lackinen, feeds Apenga. Trying to run Apenga off the three-point line. Can't do it, and Apenga makes a big three-ball.
Yeah, that was pretty. That was a nice little shot there by Apenga.
12 points for Evan Apenga, and it's coming at big. That was a big moment right there. Needed it. Blocked by Lackinen. Taken by Frecking, and that's what Lackinen can do. Change the offense quickly. She's running the floor and got an open look on the other side, but can't finish it. Can Apenga keep it alive? No, she can't. Turnover, and that's going back to Blaine.
Good effort there. You like to see it, and people end up on the floor. It's good hustle. It's if you're Lackinen, you got to make that shot, though.
Yeah, well, she'll say that. I mean, you won't have to hear that from us. She'll be happy to tell you that at the end of the game. Garber brings it across for Blaine. Like to see her get more involved in the second half. She led all scorers for Blaine in the first half. Has not been able to put anything in this second half. Actually, I take that back. She had 1 free throw. She does have 9 in the game, but just 1 point in this second half.
She's a dangerous shooter from 3 and mid-range.
Yep. Picked up her foot first, though, before she put the ball on the floor, and that's going to be a travel. Easy call for the refs and a turnover for Blaine.
Not what you can afford to do if you're Blaine. Mr. Lackinen gets a word in with his daughter.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure there was like a, hey, make that shot next time conversation from
it's a bad turnover there by Kuyan.
Good feed there as a Blaine tries to get it back, and one coming. As nice job by Holly on the inside.
Just a tough one there.
So the turnover leads to the basket, and now the three-point play chance from Kuyan. Kuyan picks up her first of the game. And she's getting a lot of run. Like Coach Novak showing a lot of confidence in the young sophomore guard.
Yeah, we'll see Lauren Youngquist back on the court here too.
Trying to complete the three-point play, but instead it hits the top of the backboard, and that'll be Anoka ball. 15-point lead with 7:07 to go.
Kind of been hanging at this margin for a minute here, Tim.
Yep, and if you're Anoka, what you're trying to do is just try to win every minute if you can going forward. Hold it right here for as long as you can. They beat the press, maybe. That was more like meet the press, but not quite beat the press there, which nobody watches meet the press. So there you go. You got that going for you.
Nice to know that I'm nobody.
You don't watch that.
Yeah, something to do on a Sunday morning.
I was going to say, you sure there's not a fantasy football show on or something? Anyway, inbound we go. Lydia going to try to drive on Sophia Teeden. Teeden playing good defense straight up. Lackinen tries to go up and under. No, she walked first. Yep, good call. I thought so. That switch of the pivot foot there, Ryan, seemed like Lydia got a little off balance. Good defense from Sophia Teeden.
Yeah, a little bit of a basic mistake there from Lackinen. We've seen a couple of those here in the last couple of minutes from her. Might be nice to see her calm down just a little bit.
Mara Holly tries to force one over Lackinen, not able to do so. Lydia picks up her dribble. Maddie's got to come out and get it. Frecking will pick it up, and they get it across the timeline. Frecking puts it on the floor with the right hand, guarded by Garber. As they move into more of a zone to the Bengals. Lackinen drives. Outside feed Mushangi, who just checked back in for a big three. Can't knock it down.
Good try.
Loose ball, out of bounds. It's going to be Blaine.
It's a good try there from Mushangi. That's the shot you'd like to see her take. We saw her kind of dial one in from there early in the first half, and then she got locked in after that shot. Yeah, sometimes you just need to find your range with one miss, and then you're hot again. So
yeah, she got it in rhythm, no question. Garber, inside feed. Teeden wants the three ball from the outside, in and out. Holly controls the rebound. Garber for three, can't knock it down. And a huge rebound from Katie McKay, who's got to dribble it out and does. Finds Mushangi. Mushangi will bring it across for Anoka. Anoka looking to try to dagger the Bengals. Haven't been able to do it yet. Teeden almost had a turnover. Youngquist wants to drive, put it up, draws the contact. When Youngquist maybe came down a little ginger. Might have stepped on somebody's foot. We'll see.
She's favoring that right foot a little bit.
Lauren's soccer player, obviously used to getting kicked and probably kicking people.
She looks a little uncomfortable on that right foot just a little bit.
But a make on the first one. That's probably one she'll feel in the morning. And we take a look at that again. Ooh,
Yeah, that's a tough one.
And she'll get them both.
Important makes there for Anoka. Not just for the score, but to slow the game down a little bit.
She will feel that in the morning, I assure you.
Good news is you got wrap and ice for that, Tim.
True. Davis inside, back up top. Holly for three. Holly needs it, can't knock it down. Hit the top of the backboard. Youngquist says, what about that? But nope, they said nope, up the side of the backboard. So they play on, which if you're Anoka, I think you're okay with that. They don't get to set up a press.
A couple of beneficial misses there for Anoka. Could have called a foul on that three shot there.
Feed inside Apenga. Nice job on the weave. And a beautiful feed from Lackinen.
And just like that, that leads back up to 19, Tim.
Back to 19. A great job by the Tornadoes. They weather the Blaine storm. And now time is really a factor for the Bengals.
Yeah, we talked about you wanted to get back to a specific number, within 6 minutes here, and we're under 5 minutes to go here in the game, and suddenly the lead's almost back up to 20, and it feels like every time Blaine starts to press in this game, they start missing shots.
Yeah, they haven't had a chance to make a ton in rhythm. Lackinen wants to drive baseline. They wanted that outside feed to Mushangi, who wants to drive it inside. That's poked away nicely that time by Romaker, who's been a pest ever since she's entered the game. She wants to take a 3-ball. She does get it in rhythm, but it's hard off the back iron.
Lackinen making that kind of around the back pass there. Has done it a couple of times, especially from that angle. Starts to get a little predictable if you're Blaine. Maybe you want to mix that up a little bit and find another place to go.
Timeout taken here by Blaine. And we'll take a look at the Blaine Bengals schedules coming up. They got to go to at Rosemont. Rosemont, pretty good team, as we mentioned before in the power rankings. So they got to go at Rosemont, home to Maple Grove, home to Rogers, then at Andover. As you can see, a lot of tough games.
Yeah,
a lot of good basketball games. That's going to be really tough for the Bengals coming up.
Especially if you lose this one by this kind of margin, that's going to be a tough stretch.
Going to definitely have to regroup quickly on their end. The Tornadoes, their schedule coming up looks like this: at Coon Rapids, Champlin Park home, so that's a nice to get those. Nice to get that one at home. Centennial, that's going to be a tough game, but again, you get it at home. That's a nice thing. At Maple Grove and then at Robbinsdale Armstrong, and again, just not a lot of easy games in this conference. You got to come to play every night.
Yeah, and if you're Anoka, you win this game, you feel like there's not a whole lot of games that you can't win in that stretch. Blaine this is a tough game for them. It's a game that kind of tests their strengths versus Blaine's strengths. They're kind of the same thing. It's an opportunity for you to show that you're the more physically dominant team, and that's kind of what they've done here tonight.
Another thing, too, to point at, this was really a different game when Marina Lafreniere went out of the game.
Yeah.
They were starting to chop it down to 10. You felt like the momentum was shifting. Lafreniere gave them a nice spark off the bench, and not having her out there has been a difference maker, I think.
Yeah, and I was going to mention this as we kind of went into the breakdown of the broadcast schedule from that point on. But you noticed in the first half, she came off the bench and played a number of minutes. You kind of felt like that, maybe she was someone they wanted to start, but she was a little bad on that knee to start the game, and maybe they wanted to ease her into it. And then obviously what happened with her knee happened. So she's sitting over there at the end of the bench with ice on her knee. So it looks like that's the issue here. Yeah, we hope the best for her. That's obviously not something you want to see.
Well, and she's a big part of what they do. So they would obviously like to see her be okay. And obviously we do too, as you get a look at her hanging out with Danielle Davis on that end of the bench.
Davis being a good team leader there.
Yeah, I like that. Youngquist called for the foul on the inside as Garber takes it. 4:05 left to go here in the game.
I always want to recognize good leadership when you see it out of these kids.
Oh, 100%.
Anytime you get a chance to console your friends and your teammates when they've had an injury or a bad moment.
And Lafreniere is one of those captains on this team, so she's a leader. That's somebody they look to.
Yeah.
So Danielle Davis also, though, a senior. This is a veteran group, this Bengals team. Making them both there is Garber. And all her points have come at the line in this second half. They beat the press perfectly. That's how you do it. McKay gets the layup.
Yeah, it's just making it look easy right now, Tim. Just a little pass up and down the court there for Anoka.
They got it perfectly spaced. And when they space that perfectly, it's easy to beat. Dominic, chance to pull up, can't knock it down. Been a little cold tonight.
Yeah, she had a couple of shots where it looked like she might get hot, but ultimately it's been, she's been rushing shots. It hasn't really felt like she's found her base as she was taking those shots. She really has not had the great follow through like we saw on the shots where she was starting to get hot. A couple of these players for Blaine just felt like maybe they were trying to take the game into their own hands and get back into this game, like I was saying before, with one fell swoop. And you just can't do it with the margin that you're dealing with right now.
And most shots have been contested. Give credit to Anoka. They have contested a lot of the jump shots tonight. Have not given away anything. Lackinen back to Mushangi. They beat the press, but Mushangi's on the ground. And I think a timeout was called by Nick Novak, who has become a pro at that tonight a couple times. And Coach Chris Brewstuen isn't loving that. But good work by Coach Novak to get that timeout.
good awareness there by the coach. That's the job, right?
That is the job, right?
You want to make sure that you know what's going on in the game at all times, and that you can give your team an advantage with those timeouts if you can. And we've seen that they've had timeouts like that. That they have looked discombobulated at times. They've missed a pass. They've had a turnover. They've committed a foul. He calls a timeout. They come down. They score, and they switch the game up. So, good job by him so far tonight. A well-coached game, and the score bears that out.
Yeah, and this was we talked about with Coach Novak before the game. The one thing he did say to us, or to me, was, after a couple of tough losses, we needed to get back to having fun. And that was one thing I thought was a big thing. And I think you could kind of see that tonight. A lot of joy on that Tornadoes bench.
Yeah.
A lot of fun that they're having. And he said that's really important. He said basketball's fun. And it just looked like the last couple of games maybe we weren't having as much fun as we needed to have. So we needed to get back to those basic things, having fun. And tonight is a good example of that. It looks like Coach Novak's had a little fun on the sidelines. And the team's certainly been having fun on the court and on the bench. Very loud, vocal bench tonight.
Yeah, and we mentioned this earlier in the game that he's bringing the energy, and you see a top-down kind of attitude from Anoka, even from the introductions, right? The high energy, making it a production, getting the girls into the game early. You've really seen that pay dividends tonight. Really, not a whole lot of moments where they've felt down in this game.
Frecking trying to dribble through some pressure, and does. Back to Mushangi, who's now trying to dribble, run some clock, which is smart. Running things here. Bit of a stall offense right now from Anoka, but they can do that when they're up 19. Back up top, Penga, who will shoot it from anywhere. Evan Apenga, that's her third of the night. 17 for the game.
Just a great shot from Apenga there.
And she's been the difference in this second half. Steal by Apenga. On the floor, they dive. Held ball, going to be Blaine. She's been the difference in the second half, really. Anoka's had a tough time scoring, but Apenga's knocked down a couple of threes, made a 2, had some free throws. 10-point second half from Evan Apenga.
Yeah, and that's what you want out of team leaders. That's what you were hoping you'd get out of Mushangi. You kind of got it from Laura Kuyan early on in the second half, but it felt like it's been a huge group effort for Anoka all night tonight, that everybody has been able to put the team above themselves and just play really good team basketball tonight.
That's pretty much it. If you look down the scoring sheet tonight for the Tornadoes, it's a lot of balance. Mushangi's got 6 points. Frecking has 11 points. Youngquist has 8 points. Apenga 17. Lackinen has looks like 12 points or 11 points tonight for her as well. Kuyan 5. Shoknek 4. A lot of people contributing. McKay had a basket tonight. So everybody who's getting on the floor for the Tornadoes is contributing offensively.
For sure. And I know you joked about it, but Bill Walsh has a saying that we can win if we put the needs of the team above our selfish interests. And Anoka's been able to do that all night tonight, looking for the extra pass, looking for the patient offense, and it's paid dividends on the scoreboard for them, even despite some mistakes like we're seeing here.
Stolen that time off the turnover. Blaine's going to get a basket, and that's big because they hadn't really been able to get one there for a while, as it's Romaker. Kind of got to beat the press, and they do, and they're going to have a look here. McKay tried too quickly to pass it, but couldn't do it. Now she traveled. Double dribble first, yep. They wanted a foul. Coach Novak wanted one, didn't get one, but again, part of it was the pass was there. If Novak catches it cleanly, it's a layup for Lydia Lackinen.
Yeah, and again, it hasn't been the cleanest game for Anoka, but
not in this second half, certainly.
They've been able to take advantage of mistakes that Blaine has made, which has kind of nullified the mistakes that Anoka's made. And in high school girls basketball, that's kind of the name of the game here, right? Is how many mistakes can we take advantage of, as it's kind of a fumble play down here.
One thing you get, though, is hustle the entire time. And this Anoka team, right where they are, mid-60s, this is what they do. They play really scrappy. They hit the boards. They get steals. They get block shots. And they make a big basket when they have to. And this is the formula. This is what's worked for the Anoka Tornadoes this year. Basically, if they can get to 60 before the other team, they're going to win.
Well, they just play such strong defense, and they just don't seem to let a whole lot of opportunities pass them by, and scrappy, opportunistic teams are dangerous anywhere on the court.
So they're going to try to dribble it out here as we get up to 1:15 to go. Apenga trying to avoid that trap. and does. Lackinen now in the trap. Good steal by Garber, and Garber's going to get it back. Garber drives on Lackinen, gets the foul, and Lydia hates it, but it's true. She got the body that time. I think that's a good call. Lydia's trying to say I went straight up, and she did, but she also got the body on that one, too.
Yeah,
As we take another look.
Leaned into that a little bit.
If you take a look, there's the bump.
Yeah,
and again, her arm
She said
goes
she
forward.
went straight up. She didn't go straight up on that. That was a 7. She was looking for a 1.
That's probably about right. Garber knocks it down at the line, gets both there. And again, all of Garber's second half points have come at the free throw line.
Which isn't a bad place to score, but when you're down 18 points, I mean, it's not
Foul.
what you want to do.
And one, Katie McKay. And that's clearly a team favorite when Katie McKay gets a basket. As the team jumped off the bench for Katie McKay.
Yeah,
Katie's got 4.
There's more good team basketball there for Anoka. I mean, it's the way to you absorb the impact, you make the basket. Take a hit, make a play.
Nice night for Katie McKay, 4 points off the bench. And hard off the heel there to complete the 3-point play. Blaine will take it, but then they lose it. So Anoka basketball, 53 seconds to go, and we'll wind this game down as Anoka's got it right where they want it. And they're going to look to go to 10-3 on the season in what has been a very nice start for this Anoka girls team.
Yeah, and again, we talked about it at the top of the game here, and really it's exactly what they did, is just played good, clean basketball.
Physical basketball, played good, tenacious defense.
You do what you got to do, the little things, and the score took care of itself. So
Sadie Dominic short arms that easy one inside, but she gets fouled, so she'll go to the line with under 40 seconds to go.
Not a whole lot of frustration on that Anoka side right now.
No, things seem to be going just fine, and looking to ride it out. Sadie Dominic made 2 threes tonight, but has kind of struggled from the floor, has 8 points total. And I think if they go, as Blaine goes, I think you look at Garber and Dominic and you say, those two are going to need to be the key to that, right? The cogs in the wheel.
Yeah, and you'd like to see Davis get in there a little bit more.
Yep.
That physical play. It just doesn't feel like she was in there as much as she needed to be tonight. And you know, the way the game went.
What is the call here? As they say, dealt official timeout. I think he thought he heard a timeout from Coach Novak, but that's not what he heard. So an inadvertent whistle. As Coach Novak's like, what happened? I didn't do anything.
I just felt like, as I was saying, felt like the way the game went, that Blaine just could not keep up with Anoka, and you know, Davis is kind of a grinder on the floor down there. Just didn't have the ability to score as much as they needed to score tonight with her on the floor.
And they had to make some contested shots, and they didn't make the contested shots. And then when they got the open looks, they weren't able to knock those down consistently enough either.
Well, it certainly doesn't help that you lose the one person who was making the contested shots in Lafreniere.
Yep.
But, you know, and it's unfortunate. It stinks for her and it stinks for Blaine. But a great game by Anoka, and they earned this one tonight.
No question about it. The Tornadoes break their 2-game losing streak tonight with a very impressive win that they led from the beginning all the way to the end. 66-48 the final score tonight. A fantastic basketball game for Nick Novak's team. The Anoka Tornadoes are 10-3. The Bengals fall to 7-4. Again, a fun one here tonight at the Anoka Fieldhouse. Want to thank everybody for tuning in this evening. Want to thank Taylor and the whole crew, the birthday boy Dan, everybody involved, our wonderful camera crew. Want to thank everybody for supporting all we do here at QCTV and QCTV.org. For Ryan Nelson Kane, this is Tim Anderson saying keep your head up, and we'll see you next time.